And so that brings us to the S8 Sandbox Challenge. And for this, we are going to engage with two of the great intellectuals of our time, Abraham Lincoln and Taylor Swift. Okay, so I've taken some text from each of these greats. From Lincoln, it is the second inaugural address, which is on the wall right here of the Lincoln Memorial. Pretty cool. If you haven't gotten to Washington, D.C. to see that, I highly recommend it. Reading those words on the wall of that memorial is a pretty powerful experience. And I just obviously can't recommend Taylor Swift enough to you. I don't know. You can be a Swiftie or not. That's fine. But I thought it was an interesting comparison because we might make some assumptions about one of our great presidents and a pop artist, right? No matter how popular she is, we might make some assumptions about relative intelligence and things like that. So let's take a sample of each and let's do some analysis. So I'm going to give you a Python file, and that Python file has two really long strings in it, one from Lincoln, one from Taylor Swift. And I want you to spend some time analyzing that text. I want you to do things with it. I want you to find out how many words there are. I want you to find out what's the average word length in each of these. I want you to find out how many unique words. Word variety is what that's called. So if I'm judging somebody's writing, word variety, or the ability to write using a wide variety of different words, is a way to judge the quality or the level of the writing. Okay? How do you deal with punctuation, right? Do you remove it? Does it matter? Also think about what it is you are comparing, right? You're comparing a speech given by Abraham Lincoln to a song written by a popular music artist of today. Now, a speech and a song have different formats. You might expect to find a greater word variety in a speech than you would in a song because a song repeats certain phrases and things like that. So how do you make sense of those things? That's important as well. What words are common to both? That's interesting. Does Taylor Swift use any of the same words that Abraham Lincoln does? And what other analysis can you think of? So let's take a look at that Python file. And you can see that Python file if you go to our page in Canvas for this assignment. There's the Lincoln versus Swift Python file. And when you open it, this is what you'll see. At the very top, we've got our Abraham Lincoln quote. It's only 4 lines long, but don't let that fool you. You will scroll over probably, 6 to 10 page widths to get to the end of the lines. So they're 4 lines, but they're very long lines. And then because Taylor Swift has written lyrics are typically shorter lines, but there are more of them. So there are the lyrics for Antihero and the second inaugural address from Lincoln. And then below that, you can see that I've defined some functions. Feel free to change those functions. Feel free to modify them. Feel free to use them. This one cleans certain characters out of the text. There is, by the way, an easier way to do this, but I wanted to make it very explicit what I was doing. So it's taking text and it returns text. This is a return something function. It doesn't act on the text itself. It just returns it. So if you want to use what this returns, you got to capture it in a variable. This one will return how many unique words there are in a piece of text. It'll give you a number, but you can compare that number, right? This one actually returns something interesting. We haven't seen this before in this class, but it returns a tuple. Okay, it returns a tuple, and the first value in this tuple is the number of unique words. The second is a sorted list of unique words from that piece of text, and it is sorted in the order of the length of the words from the longest word to the shortest word. So you can use that information in some way. Now, long words is a different function, and you can see it's empty. But it uses these two functions. So I have instructions in comment form for you to complete this. Do you have to complete this to get credit for the sandbox? No, it's just kind of a starter. It'll walk you through some of the things, some of the possible logic scenarios that you'd come across when doing this. So now we are doing some processing here, and you can actually see that if I run this, it will tell me some things about the Lincoln text. So let's just run this right now. And so it'll tell you the Lincoln text has 3,884 characters, and the average word length is 5.54. Now, if I want to find out the similar characteristics of the Taylor Swift text, you can reverse engineer what I did with the Lincoln text and figure it out. But I want you to spend some time analyzing or trying to make sense or finding out something interesting about this text. So that is the sandbox assignment for Module 8.